I don't know what happened there, folks. Something went wrong. Like, I didn't lose internet. The application I'm using just fucking decided to shit the bed.
We had what you would call a system error.
Yeah. It was weird. Like, it just immediately all the output went down, and it was basically acting as if everything was a missed frame.
Well, at least we're back up and running now, and audio seems to be okay and everything.
Yeah. Weird.
Well, I guess we don't know exactly where it crapped out, so should I just do the segment I did again?
Yeah, let's just start over, and if we can edit around it when we, because we'll hide both of these and we'll just put it up as a full video, I guess.
Yeah. So we go to the Dark Order lair, which was very nice to see again. I missed that location, not being on BT the last few weeks. But Tony Schiavone is there and he's talking to the whole Dark Order and he's like, hey, how are you guys feeling after last week? I know that was a big loss for you. And before they can get an answer out, Hangman comes in and he apologizes for costing them the tag title shots. And they're like, no, it's okay. We weren't really expecting to get tag title shots. It's fine. You're our friend. We support you no matter what. And he's like, yeah, but I really feel like I need to handle things on my own for a little while. So we're still friends, but let's just go our separate ways for a little bit. And most of them are like, we're friends. We're friends. We'll do this together. It'll be fine. I mean, and Evil Uno is like, no, guys, if he wants to be on his own for a little while, let's respect his wishes and let him go. It's very, very nice, very wholesome.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like he doesn't want to be around the Dark Order because he said a line. He said, "I can't keep looking behind my shoulder, hoping to see you there,"
Mm-hmm.
which made me think of, oh, he's afraid of like the safety
Using
net.
them as a crutch.
Yeah, he wants because like in his mind he's going like, it's okay if I fail a little because they're there to pick me up. If I don't have them there, I will try harder and push my limits,
Yeah.
which is what I think he's kind of going for. It's not fuck friends. It's more of like, yo, I need to become stronger so I can be stronger for you as well, and all that kind of jazz and everything. But
I need a training arc.
yeah. Hangman also dropped a fucking CD on the desk.
I noticed that, yeah.
Is it a CD or a DVD? What do you think?
I think it's a DVD with some kind of instructions for later. I think we're going to find out what it is on BTE this week as well.
Okay. I don't think we'll find out what it is on BTE. I think we're gonna get the Dark Order sees it, and there's a gag about like who has a DVD player anymore. Where's a DVD player?
And then somebody random is just like, I have a portable DVD player. I still drive to all the shows.
But you know the like that's gonna be the gag, and then they're gonna do something on Dynamite or Rampage,
Potentially.
potentially. No, I like this segment.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was really
good.
good. It's also like part of the big through line for tonight, which I was not expecting.
Yeah. But next up we had 2.0, also known as Ever Rise from NXT. It's definitely they came into NXT after we left.
Yeah, they came into NXT. From what I've heard, they had an amazing run, but unfortunately, we just missed it all. And they were one of the people who were released a month ago, along with Alistair, and because they had NXT contracts
Mm-hmm.
up in 30 days. So here they are.
With Daniel Garcia versus John Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin.
Just all the big names in one match. Get them in there. All the pops and the hops, please.
This feels very much like 2.0 are like friends of a lot of very important people in AEW, and they were like, "Hey, can we? Oh, let's have a match with you guys. Cool. Who
I
should?
think one of them is actually an old friend of Eddie's. I think Excalibur said something about that on commentary.
Well, I mean, Chuck Taylor's friends with them."
Mm.
Because when they
Yeah,
got released, he did a joke of like, and I just got this mug too.
yeah. And it's all these motherfuckers
They seem like
basically.
PWG alum kind of guys, you know?
Yeah, it's basically them being brought in for a big old squash match, in the funnest way possible. Because I really enjoyed this. If it wasn't for the main event, this might have been my favorite match of the night. This was really fun.
God, one of them just freaking out. Oh my God, it's Sting! It's Sting right in front of me.
And, and Darby just demolishes the motherfucker. And then I also just loved how prolonged and how fun Mox and Eddie's entrance got to be in
Oh
this
yeah.
match.
And Eddie
And
just smiling like a motherfucker is like, I've been a heel everywhere and I get to be a babyface? Yeah.
the fucking crowd came unglued when he tagged in too. Did you see that?
Yeah, man. Eddie's
Uh,
fucking gold. Eddie's fucking money, man.
yeah,
That's
fucking
great.
wonderful. But trying to think of any more like super notable moments for this. Oh yeah, Mox double clothesline both the 2.0 guys.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
this feels very much like hey, remember John, Eddie, and Darby are here. They're doing things. They don't have a major storyline, but they're here. And also here's some cool undercard talent we have that are interesting
it's a
people.
big old crowd pleaser, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And also, like, I do like how they built it story wise, where they've been saying, like, oh, yeah, these guys have arrived in AEW, and because they want to make a statement right away, they've called out three of the biggest names.
In a
It's like,
very
yeah,
like
that makes
in
sense.
a very 70s 80 like call out promo. Like it's old school kind of like promo work, which is nice. It's cool. It's classic.
Hmm.
Nothing wrong with playing the hits.
It's very solid. But,
But Darby does win after pinning Garcia with a coffin drop.
and then Sting gets in the ring and celebrates with the other two boys like they're at a party.
Like Jesus Christ.
It was it was the best fucking like wholesome grandpa vibes I've seen in a while from Sting.
I'm so glad Sting's in AEW because he just seems to be having so much fun.
Hmm.
He seems to be feeding off the energy of the youth.
And like if we get no more matches until his inevitable retirement match with Darby, and all he does from now on is just like give the rub to other wrestlers who are in matches with or against Darby, I'm perfectly fine with that because it's been going great so far.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Except for this one team. It ended okay, but why don't you tell me about the next bit?
Uh So we got a Team Taz video package, everybody, and I hate that I have to say it in that tone of voice because man, how far Team Taz has fallen on the interest level for me. And I mean, this is a little better than the segment last week, but it's still pretty weak sauce because
Yeah.
it's a lot of retconning Brian Cage's character, in my opinion, because when he came in, he was just Taz's hired gun. And this entire promo is Cage going like, I never cared about that. I came into AEW for this reason and that reason, and then you lost the title match for me and gave me a consolation prize belt. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, didn't you get the belt a week before that? What's going on?
Yeah.
It was. I'll put it this way. I like Brian Cage. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with him after this.
All these guys feel like everybody in Team Taz feels like they need one really creative individual to work with them. You know what I mean? Like
Bray Wyatt just turns them into demons.
no, what I mean is like Brian Cage, Taz, Ricky Starks, they seem to be on a very kind of bare bones old school wrestling mindset with storytelling.
Uh-huh.
Where in AW you tend to need to be a little bit more deep.
Yeah.
Hangman, Dark Order, Cody, Malachi. I just bumped my mic, so I got some static in my ear. uh, the Elite, Kenny, like there's depth to all the characters, and Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, and Taz feel like puddles.
I hate that you're right about that because
Like
that is a pretty harsh comment.
yeah, like, but here's the thing: in a like if they just had like one person working with them. Because Hobbs, he's a little bit more deep. There's interest there because of how he joined Team Taz. But that's kind of forgotten now.
And he's also kind of sidelined right now because he's dealing with family shit. And I'm not saying like he should
No,
come
no, no, no,
back
no.
right now. My condolences to him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I understand
All
what
love to
that's like on a
Hobbs.
personal level.
But like, if they had someone with a little bit deeper of a character to kind of help inform and build storylines with, that'd be interesting. You know, there's something there. Team Taz isn't the Nightmare Collective. There's something there. There's something good. You can see the diamond in it. You just got to figure out how to polish it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. He's not the Nightmare Collective. He really isn't. At the moment they're kind of on a the factory level.
Their factory, their early TH2.
Hmm.
You know, there's something there, but it needs to be worked on. And I don't know
Like
what it could be. Like, do
there's
you?
free factions in AEW right now that I really want to like, but they just don't have anything super interesting going on right now. And it's Team Taz, it's the Factory, and it's Hardy Family Office. Hardy Family Office. And like, yeah, Hardy Family Office has a major storyline right now, but it's not super interesting to me.
No, Hardy family are putties. That's their role usually.
Hmm.
That's kind of what they're meant to be. They're all putties for like up mid
Matt.
card to upper mid card characters.
Yeah.
And Matt's not Lord Zed. Matt's an individual monster from an episode of Power Rangers.
Oh, give him more credit than that. He's Goldar.
He's Goldar. That's much. He's not Zed, but he's like he's competent enough to be threatening, but not competent enough to be like the season finale.
Oh my god, dude. That's where you slot Bray Wyatt in an AEW. He's the Lord Zed of Hardy Family Office.
Crowds are back. But okay, fuck. Maybe we were wrong, and maybe Bray Wyatt can't be in AEW.
It just struck me like lightning. What if they just fucking go, "Oh, it was Matt's master plan the whole time. He's been priming AEW for the arrival of the Eater of Worlds."
That's copyrighted by WWE. You got to come up with something else, and he can't be Bray Wyatt.
The consumer of planetoids.
Oh man, we need to keep an eye in 90 days on any of Matt Hardy's social media
Mm-hmm.
of the Lake of
Because remember,
Reincarnation.
Remember, when Wyatt's release was announced, he was the first person to tweet out about it, and he posted a GIF of him and Wyatt hugging back during their tag run.
Because I think they genuinely loved working together. Like, they liked doing it.
Oh yeah, they had tons and tons of pitches for where they wanted to go with the Eaters of Worlds, but Vince just didn't care.
He also probably didn't get it, you know? But, like, imagine Matt Hardy now that crowds are back starting to break a little.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I can see it as, like, oh, maybe Private Party loses a match and Matt loses some money out of it. And he goes, like, no, you fucking imbecile. Like, goes full on, that kind of thing. Oh, man, you could do. Fuck. Damn it. I don't know.
This show and fantasy booking, I swear to God.
I mean, what else are we gonna do? But no, Team Taz needs an extra something, and I don't know what it could be. Maybe Layla Hirsch. People going on, Layla Hirsch, Team Taz.
It was dead ass a Layla Hirsch for Team Taz signed during her match tonight, and I was like, ooh! I was the Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
I think a big part of the reason, I know what it is. Taz needs to put less emphasis on like the ECW kind of vibe and more emphasis on the fact that they're MMA like big beefy badass martial arts boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of the vibe they need to go with. They're a fight team. They're that kind of stable. They're not wrestle boys.
They're extremely dangerous gym bros.
Yes. And right now they just feel like Wrestle Boys.
Yeah.
But next up we have the
All
promo
the
that
Wrestle Boys.
other Wrestle Boys. We have a promo that on first glance it's just like, oh, it's a standard heel. Oh, we've beat everyone here. Who's gonna challenge for us? We're hyping up the next match. What could it be? What could it be? All that kind of stuff. And everybody, and like, I have a feeling everybody watched for the first time and was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then people went back to it and wait a second.
My eyes were going 90 miles a minute during this, dude, because the first thing I fucking noticed was that Gallows was wearing a Ric Flair robe.
Yep. And then you also notice one Kenneth Omega wearing a Cookie Monster shirt.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh my god.
here's the thing about Cookie Monster. What's the initials for Cookie Monster?
DM.
And that's often been a joke from Punk. What does the CM stand for? Cookie Monster.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he changes it every time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's gone back and forth on a bunch of different things, but like also Kenny Omega quote, "Look in my eyes," from in Living like, oh my god.
And at the same time, like they're all fucking around with basketballs, and they're one of them's doing the spinning trick and going like, "Oh, how long can he go?" And fucking when they start talking about nobody can beat us, we're going to have to be buried with these belts to drive home the metaphor. Brandon Cutler puts up a ladder, climbs up, and cuts the neck off of the net off of the basketball hoop they're standing next to.
Yeah, because that's often a thing in the NBA is like retirement and that kind of stuff. And championships and things like that. But we also get an announcement for a Impact Tag Team titles. The Dark Order get a chance at them because they pinned Gallows and Anderson in the Eliminator tournament. So Impact says,
not a lot of people seem to get that. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that kind of ruins the outcome of last week's match," and I'm like, "No, it makes perfect sense. Pay attention."
Because Impact's making the match, not TK.
Yeah.
Impact saw, oh, these guys pinned our tag team champs. All right, cool. They get a match.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see the match go on and the Dark Order are doing their stuff and like they get cheated on and everything, and Hangman comes out to help them, and they go like, "What are you doing? I thought you said you wanted to be left alone." Yeah, I want my shit to be left alone. Doesn't mean I can't come help you.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Like, you really enforce of like, I want to do this part on my own because I need to rely on myself and push myself, but that doesn't mean I can't be here for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I would have loved to see that. But another thing I did love to see was Christian Cage versus the Blade with the Bunny. It was a pretty simple match, but it was a very solid match. A good, perfect middle of the card match that also sets up some very important things for the future. Because, hey guys, not a lot to talk about here except for at one point the Bunny tries to interfere, and then because she's got a match with her later on in the night, Layla Hirsch comes out, punches her into the back, and then Christian pins the Blade after a spear.
Man, it's interesting. It's interesting to see how much of an edge Blade has.
He's pretty sharp about it.
You do get the joke I'm making, right?
I get it.
Because Cage wins with a spear, which is the finishing move of one.
Man,
Copeland.
You don't have to worry about your jokes because on this day I see them clearly.
Buddy boys. Speaking of buddy boys. Powerful and FTR basically go like, yeah, last week's match kind of fucked up. Try again. Do over. Let's do it again. After he's healed up. Let's do it. Which is, you know what, fair enough.
Yeah. They made chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was fine.
Yeah. I don't want to eat it every week, but like I'll be. It's fine.
Yeah. But then we go back to the ring where Tony Schiavone greets Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with Rebel, not Reba. And they basically discuss, like, hey, we're going to be in Pittsburgh for 2 shows next week. We got Dynamite and the premiere of Rampage, which, if you're wondering, folks, yeah, we're still going to do this show on Thursdays. We'll cover Rampage first from now on in front of Dynamite starting week after next.
Yes, 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 yes.
But
it'll be very late. It will never be topical.
And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. We'll probably gloss over it. Just be like, I like this thing. This thing was neat. Oh, this is building into this kind of thing. But after the pleasantries, Britt basically says, like, yeah, and nobody can challenge me because I'm the best. I've been doing the best. And Little Miss Red Velvet comes out and basically goes like, hey, you beat me once, but it was a long time ago, and I've gotten a lot better since then. So how about we do it again? And how about I take that title off your waist in your hometown?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is made official that the first match announced for the first episode of Rampage is Britt versus Red Velvet for the women's title, and it's pretty smart way to open the show. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. It's solid. Good little feud. It can work. They can build something off of that too, because there could be a beatdown angle afterwards, and there can be like Britt Baker wins, she's victorious, but then someone comes out and goes like, hey.
Or potentially somebody comes out and helps her beat down Red. Potentially two somebodies, potentially two somebodies whose 90 days are almost up.
Who sound like they're from down under.
They sound like they really enjoy some Mackers,
Don't fucking. We're too American to say that, buddy. We're talking about the Iconics.
Yeah, the Iconics are. It's heavily rumored, as we talked about last week, that the Iconics are going to come to AEW and form a faction with Britt. And I think it's going to happen on the first episode of Rampage.
Yeah. I mean, hey, first episode of Dynamite, we saw the first major faction of AEW be formed.
We got it's like poetry. It rhymes. First major men's faction on the first episode of Dynamite. First major women's faction on the first episode of Rampage.
Yeah. I feel like it should have 4 members. Like, there should be one more.
I mean, I assume Rebel will be a member.
Yeah, but, it feels like there should be a big, heavy muscle.
Maybe they just go up to Nyla and they're like, hey, do you like money?
I don't know. But we go backstage. We're with Dasha Gonzalez again, and she's talking to Andrade and Chavo. And then they pull out a specific luchador. A
luchador who's supposed to be dead right now.
A fan favorite luchador. And
who got chance.
And they figured out the best way to get heat. You just piss on everybody's favorite luchador. Because Fuego del Sol comes out, and Chavo goes like, alright, shine his shoes. What? Shine his shoes. They beat his ass and go like, alright, you gonna shine my shoes now? Just to really show how big of a dick Andrade has.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. It's just a way for Andrade to get some heat, really show how badass he is and how much of an asshole he is.
Yeah, this is perfectly fine.
Yeah. But it's also showing like, hey, Fuego is, he's not officially All Elite, but he's kind of in the circle, and we're trying to figure out what to do with him.
But after that, we go back out to the ring where Tony Schiavone is still just chilling out, and so he has Hangman Adam Page come out because got to fill the time somehow. And Hangman basically says like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about some other stuff, and this, that, and the Elite come out, and the Elite talk shit to him for a little bit, and they basically say like, look, we see what you're doing. You're leaving the Dark Order." you're gonna come crawling back, aren't you, you little bitch? Well, guess what? Everybody in this group has a belt now. We don't want losers here. And they start beating him down. And the Dark Order comes out to try and help out. But Evil Uno and Stu Grayson make them go to the back. They're like, no, he wanted to be on his own. We need to respect his wishes, which I saw a lot of people reacting to, like, that's fucking bullshit. Are they turning the Dark Order heel again? No, like, fucking whole. This is good. This is what needs to happen right now.
This is anime sports telling. This is like anime storytelling.
Mm-hmm. It's it's fucking it's Rocky standing at the outside of the ring while fucking Apollo Creed is getting beaten to death by Ivan Drago, and he's looking at Rocky and he's saying, "Don't you fucking throw in the towel for me."
Yeah, it's that kind of mindset. Like, like I don't know. It's dumb to go like, oh, they should have helped him anyway. Yeah, and then what? Hangman gets pissed off and never wants to talk to the Dark Order again because they went against his wishes and they betrayed his trust.
Mm-hmm. But no, after they make their way to the back, Frankie Kazarian comes out of nowhere and tries to take a couple of them out and gets beaten down on the outside for his kindness. And the segment ends with Kenny holding up the AEW championship and going, I want you to take a good long look, Hangman, because this is as close as you're ever going to get. And then he knocks him on his ass with the belt.
Yep. But it's good way to just really put Hangman in the dirt so he can pull himself out. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Dan Lambert comes back and goes like, hey, bitches, you thought you saw the last of me? Nah. I'm coming back, and I'm gonna have some muscle with me next time. So, Lance Archer, your days are numbered.
Okay. Fine. Sure.
Here's the thing, though. He works with Tom Lawler from
Yeah.
MLW. It's probably
And
going to be like
I found out for Brian Zane this week that he was also Bobby Lashley's manager in Impact. So like my indifference towards him is slightly lessened, but only slightly. I'm just like, I still have no fucking idea who this guy is. And I don't really care because MMA doesn't impress me like it's supposed to. So
Yeah, but Tom Lawler coming in, that'd be fun.
that'd be fun. I have a feeling though that it's probably going to be the American Top Team people he was with during that first
Tom
segment.
Lawler's
Like
part of that.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Dude, Tom Lawler's MMA. He's a wrestler and he's in MMA at the same time.
I literally only know that he's a host on Wrestling Observer Radio.
He's a wrestler on MLW.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, learned some things today. Education.
I learned like 3 things today. It was nice. But let's see what else. Oh, then we got a match. We got a proper match finally. Big Shotty Lee Johnson with the Natural Dustin Rhodes versus the Redeemer Miro for the TNT Championship. This match was fucking great.
Oh yeah, no.
Like this is textbook how to book a dominant heel champion in a match. Like God, think of where Miro was a few years ago when you and I were just dipping our toes into wrestling, and where he is now. It's night and fucking day, dude. I am so happy for him being treated the proper way.
Because he just comes out and is a preeminent badass. Lee Johnson gets like one move in, and like he seizes upon it. Miro stands up. He's like, "Oh no, it didn't hurt me. Wait a second, my body's failing. Fuck." His brain's fine. His mind is focused. It's just his body can't keep up with him.
Yeah, what great selling! I forgot about that till you brought it up just now.
Oh, it's so good.
Because like, it's not even an AEW style squash match. It's a legitimate match. And Lee Johnson, well, he lost. He still put up such a good fight.
Lee Johnson looked amazing.
Yeah, I feel like we could see Lee Johnson hang out in the mid card on Dynamite for a while now. We probably won't. We'll probably get some other guys moving in and out.
Mhm.
But if and when Lee Johnson comes back to Dynamite, I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah, it's Lee Johnson, let's go. Whereas coming into this match, I was just like, okay, I know who Lee Johnson is. This will probably be a fine Miro enhancement match. And I'm coming out of it going like, no, Lee Johnson's great. Let's see more of Lee Johnson. Also, Miro is fucking amazing.
Miro is fucking fantastic. There's so like, it was just really good. Solid, like, because Miro looked like a preeminent badass, but he looked like a preeminent badass that can be taken down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't have a weak spot, but he's mortal, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He may be God's favorite champion, but he is not a god himself.
Also, did you see the fucking sign when he during his match? It was like a paragraph long. It was like, "Thank you, God, for giving Miro, for blessing Miro with his awesome wrestling skills and like giving him a flexible wife."
I saw that it said thank you God, but I was too focused on the match to read the whole thing.
I don't remember. It was something like that. Oh
Yeah.
man, Miro's just so good right now. His character work's been so good, and people.
Also, since we brought up signs a couple times so far tonight, during the main event, did you catch a particular sign?
Mm-mm.
We want AEW ice cream bars.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that one, buddy. I saw that one. But no. So, how did Miro win?
Miro won by putting Lee Johnson in the game over, and Lee Johnson passed out.
The game over is fucking over.
It is. It's so good. It's gone from being like, that's kind of hinky, and they botched it on the first go, to being like, nope, that is badass, and that works every time, and it should not be broken out of for a long time.
Yeah. But we also have on next Friday we have our announced team, which is gonna be Excalibur, of course, Taz. Oh, that's nice. Jericho. Oh, and
Oh,
Mark,
hell yeah.
and Mark Henry. That's a lot of people.
That's a crowded fucking table, guys.
I hope it's just the first episode.
Yeah, like I would really prefer it just be Excalibur and Jericho. Like, no offense to Henry and Taz, but like it's a lot of people for one table for an hour-long show. And like I don't have much experience with Mark Henry on commentary, but from what I've watched of Dark, Taz and Excalibur tend to talk over each other a lot.
Yeah, they're trying to, but they're also trying to like make each other pop. Because Dark's a lot more relaxed. They're trying to be funny with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know. Fingers crossed that it all works out, but it's just like that is a lot of people to put at one table, and also with the way they talked about it after they came back from the graphic, it sounded like Excalibur might be leaving Dynamite to do this, and I'm like, buddy, don't go. You're like the voice of wrestling right now, in my opinion.
I don't think it was that. I think it was just more of like, wow, you are really kind of taking hold of all this stuff. You're really impressive. You're doing a lot. Good job, kid.
Okay. If
That's all
that's what it is, that's perfectly fine.
That's how I kind of read it. I'll just talk about the next one just because that one. Tony Schiavone talks to Christian Cage, going like, "Hey, yo, you're number one contender," and he goes like, "Yeah, that's what I wanted to be. I'm Christian Cage. I'm fucking badass."
Also, thank you, Layla. And thank you to the best friends for apparently adopting Layla off screen.
Yeah, good. It's solid. It's nice work. It is good. It's solid. It's nice to see Christian Cage.
Also, freaking Best Friends now has enough members. If Layla's an official member, because I don't know either way after this. I got the
she
feeling
may
it's
be
like
like
a one night.
Wheeler.
Yeah, but like counting her and Wheeler, Best Friends now has enough members to hold individually potential women's tag team championships, the men's tag team championships, the World Championship, and the TNT Championship.
God damn. What if what if the best friends just fluke into that?
Uh-huh.
And then all the heels are pissed off of like, why are these guys our champions? And they're just going like, I don't know, we just smoke weed and eat chips all day. Hey, what's up? Because they're
And just to
those
clarify,
fuckers.
and just to clarify, I am saying Orange Cassidy would be world champion,
Oh,
and Wheeler would be TNT champion.
hell yeah. Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah. So why don't you tell me about the bunny?
All right, we got the Bunny with the Hardy Family Office versus legit Layla Hirsch with Best Friends in an NWA Women's World Title Eliminator match. So Wrestle Talk complained about this because, of course, they did. Oh my God, there's a match to determine for the NWA title on AEW. How fucking horrible that they would collaborate with another company in that company's time of need because fucking Serena Deeb got injured, you idiots. They're scrambling at the last minute to fix things, and they're doing it in the best possible way because it's two beautiful blonde women beating the shit out of each other. And you know, both Vince McMahon and I were very much down for that.
See, I thought you were going the more like reasonable explanation of like Power only has a limited amount of time every week, and so they need to really get a number of people in and do all the angles and everything. So having it here makes total legit sense. Um, then you went and made me get the fucking horny bat.
No, because it's that as well. But also, like, I just need to point out because it hit me when they were facing off at the beginning of the match. The Bunny is how most people think Supergirl should be drawn. Layla Hirsch is how I think Supergirl should be drawn.
Very tiny.
Very tiny and not at all like a bimbo Barbie. Like she looks like a stocky badass.
So here's the thing. I think Supergirl probably worked better the way the final person in this whole angle coming in should be.
That's actually how she looks in Action Comics right now, and I'm very much about that as well.
Tall Amazonian. Because Layla Hirsch wins. Hey! And you want to know why she won? Because she tiny.
And she tapped the Bunny out with an arm bar, which she's calling the arm breaker, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then Camille is in the crowd. They cut to Camille a few times during the match because she's the current NWA Women's Champion, and she gets in the ring and squares up with Layla, and oh my, I swear to God, Layla comes up to her knee.
It's that one fucking image you've seen, that meme image from that one lesbian porn.
Mm-hmm.
Of like the woman in the yellow dress holding up the ginger. It's that.
Yeah. It literally is that, and also like I've seen Camille in action quite a few times. I like Camille; she's a pretty good wrestler. But like this is the first time I've seen Camille, and I've gone, "Oh God, how long until Vince gets his hands on this woman?" Because you know it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. But that's not the only thing that happened in this match because Nyla Rose faces off and kind of mouths off.
There's down with Statlander,
Yeah.
and we get it confirmed later in the night that they're going to be having a match on Dynamite next week, which is pretty exciting.
Well,
I don't think
hey,
we've gotten that matchup before.
who'd have thought that AEW just needed to fucking have a moment to breathe and look at all the women angles we have now.
Yeah, because we had Britt earlier in the show. We had this bomber match with all this stuff going on. And then I'll talk about this real quick, and then you can run down next week's card. We cut backstage. Smart Mark and Jade are back. And they're basically going like, hey, we never said we were going to wrestle all the time. We've got a lot of shit going on. We're very busy people. But we're back, and you can see us this Monday on Dark, because you should be watching Dark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I probably should, but I'm also very busy right now.
Yeah. But like since we talked about Wrestle Talk already, I watched your podcast about Dynamite, and they were going like, yeah, the tag team division seems to be kind of less important, less focused on right now, and it's kind of disappointing them. But and my immediate, and like I was thinking about it, it's like, yeah, they're kind of right, but why? And then I went like, Oh, right. We just came out of the COVID era where it's much easier to bring in one person into a taping, let alone two.
Also, the whole story right now is that the Bucks are holding the belts like arrogant heels who think they can't be beaten. And there's still been a good bunch of tag matches, some random ones, but good tag matches on Dark and Elevation, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like AEW isn't doing tag stuff. It's not like they're not doing women's stuff. It's just there's only so much time on Dynamite, so they're focusing on the biggest marquee stuff as much as possible.
Right. But now we got a bunch of cool, interesting women's stories. We got stuff. We got the Bucks acknowledging, yeah, no, we need challengers. Who's going to challenge for us? Well, the Varsity Blondes have been really coming up and making a name for themselves. Wouldn't that be a big, fun, marquee main event match for a Dynamite?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
And
fun.
we got Rampage about to kick off, and like we already said this, but I'm gonna try my level best to keep up with Rampage. And yes, it is because it's a TV show, not a YouTube show. It's also because it's only an hour long, and because it's a TV show, it's only gonna be an hour long every week. You never know how long Dark and Elevation are gonna be, so sometimes I see those time codes, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not even putting that on in the background. That's too much. But
Yep.
just an extra hour at the end of the week. I can put Rampage on because behind the scenes on my bullshit for you guys, I shoot the bulk of my toy reviews Friday nights, and then I get the footage off of my camera and prep it before going to bed. I can just watch Rampage while I'm getting the footage off of my camera and prepping it for editing.
Nice. But, yeah. No, that's good promo. It's nice seeing Mark Sterling.
Yeah.
And from everything having never watched the podcast and only watched Dynamite, I assume he's the most important member of the podcast.
He is the linchpin because Brian is lazy and Matt is very unhinged. So he's kind of like the one keeping the trains running on time.
That's just more of a joke because I know he's more of the producer and not a full cast member of the podcast.
Yeah.
But next week we have Jericho and Wardlow, Rose and Statlander,
Let's go for both of those, honestly.
Good Bros versus Uno and Grayson for the Impact titles, and
Yeah,
Baker
that's
versus
pretty
Velvet on
exciting.
Rampage. Hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty good stuff lined up, but also a lot of space still in there for Dynamite and Rampage. A lot of stuff they can announce in the intermeeting time or just completely surprise us with. And I'm not
Isn't
saying we're going to be getting a bunch of big debuts next week, but like there could be a lot of cool little things that we won't know about until the night.
But here's the thing: the week after that is the Chicago shows, right?
Yeah.
What do you want to bet that on Dynamite and Rampage, not necessarily a full debut, but we hear a little static and just like three notes. That's it.
I don't want that. Like you can do more subtle teases like Kenny's shirt, but
Here's the thing.
don't play that fucking music until he is walking out.
Here's the thing, though. You need to like showcase, like, hey, tune in next week. Like, it needs to be more overt than the Cookie Monster shirt, but more subtle than just going like, hey, by the way, CM Punk's gonna be here next week.
All right, here's an idea. Darby teased last week. Rampage is going to be a big deal, and he wants to face the best in the world on it. Have him come out, open Rampage with Darby coming out to the ring and saying, "All right, it's Rampage. I want the best in the world. Get out here." Sammy comes out, and he goes, "Well, I'm not the best in the world, but I'm the best ever. How about a rematch? First match on Rampage, Darby versus Sammy 2."
That'd be fun. I don't know how you could tie it in, but what if like Doc Gallows showed up? Straight Edge Society.
Oh yeah.
There could be some like fun things there.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, maybe like because the Elite are gonna have a segment on the first episode of Rampage. Maybe have it open with Doc Gallows talking to someone on the phone and then hanging up because he realizes they're on camera.
who's that? Old friend.
Hmm.
Old friend. He got me. He helped me kick a lot of bad habits.
Yeah. An old friend from back when I was a much more festive guy.
There, you could do things like that. I have a feeling if like they need a more overt, hey, CM Punk's gonna be on the next episode. Tune in, tune in, tune
I
in.
mean, if it wasn't for the fact that she's injured and going in for surgery, I would straight up just say, have a segment where Serena Deeb and Doc Gallows are hanging out.
Like maybe even like I don't know. There's things you can do. There's like I just feel like you need to do something more than just like the rumor. Because remember last time they just had a debut on Dynamite and they didn't hype it up at all. TNT got pissed.
If he's okay with it, have a Dark Order segment without Colt Cabana and call attention to the fact that Colt Cabana's not there. And somebody just says, oh, yeah, he talked to me on Wednesday. He said he doesn't want to be on Rampage at all for some reason. He wouldn't say why.
There's things you can do. No, it's just Darby Allin's just drinking a can of Pepsi. Why are you drinking a Pepsi? I just really wanted a Pepsi for some reason. Have you seen any of those G.I. Joe toys? They're really cool. And I've been really getting into Fantastic Four. I love the thing.
Complete character assassination for Darby and Sting. Look, you know what it is? It's not even their segment. It's somebody else's backstage segment. And just in the background, Darby is drinking a Pepsi and Sting is playing with a G.I. Joe classified figure and Marvel Legends the Thing.
No, you can do. Honestly, you could do that as a BTE moment. You could do that as a BTE skit, not on Dynamite.
I'm trying to think if Sting has had a BTE skit now. No, yeah. I can't remember if John and Alex ever found him. Because there was a running joke for a while where they were trying to recruit Sting to the Dark Order and they couldn't find him.
Here's another thought. We're just talking about future things.
Yeah, we're delaying the thing.
Yeah, CM Punk's voice is so iconic. How would you feel about this? Instead of coming out and you hear da 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 da, the cult of personality, you just hear him on the mic going like, well, 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 what do we have here? Looks like
I have everybody's attention now.
Oh, dude. Like, just hearing that, the crowd will go like, what the fuck? Oh, man. You can do some...
Now, here's my big question.
Yeah.
When Punk inevitably arrives, heel or babyface?
I'm trying to think of the balance because right now we have the Elite, big asshole heels. There's a lot of tweeners. There's a lot of baby faces. If he comes in, we also got to think about who would he be feuding with. Darby probably.
Yeah,
Darby would be the first one. Darby would. What would get him Darby more over? Being the asshole or being the babyface to Punk?
See, I think Punk needs to be the heel in that specific situation. Like he's trying to come in and shove down a younger talent because, hey, look at me. Why did everybody stop talking about me? Something like that. But also, I really want him having a promo off with MJF.
I would. You know what? CM Punk's a tweener. CM Punk is the same vibe as Jon Moxley, as Eddie Kingston, as Darby. Of I'm good enough, but like fuck you.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, you fucking pulled a sneaky, cause I pulled a sneaky. Because I tried to do like 2 because I counted ahead and going like, all right, who's gonna be doing it? So I did 2, going like.
See, I noticed you pull a sneaky, and I tried to pull it back. But why don't we just say it together? Your main event this evening:
Malachi Black versus
the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, with the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. In exactly the fucking match I wanted.
4 minutes flat. Decimation.
Like, dead ass. Cody tries to go for a bunch of big moves, end it real quick. He makes the mistake of going up to the top and leaving, I almost said Alistair, Malachi in the middle of the ring. Malachi hops up, kicks him. He falls over, destroys the timekeeper's table, and one of the best visuals I've seen on this show in a while. And then he like staggers back to the ring, and Malachi just gives him a gentle kick in the chin, literally hits his off switch, and
he's down for a full count. And
Brian Alvarez, no, dude. Brian Alvarez pointed this out. And I loved this detail because Jim Ross, he hates knowing who's going to win. He wants his reaction to be genuine. So Jim Ross watched Malachi put one foot on Cody's chest and he goes, nah, he's never going to pin him like that. 1, 2, 3. God. And Jim Ross popped harder than I did.
God damn. Because, like, That's not a move. That's not a finish you use ever. You like use it once every other year. Because the person taking it, they have to be fully on board, fully like giving us all hell. They have to be like, yes,
and they have to be capable of sustaining a burial like that.
Yeah, because that's realistically. That's a burial. Cody looks like shit compared to Malachi.
Which is exactly what I wanted. I fucking love Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is my favorite wrestler. He needed to lose, and he needed to lose badly here, and he did. They made exactly the right fucking choice.
And here's the thing.
I love this company so much, dude.
And here's the thing. They made it. People have been making comparisons with this and Brody Lee. Brody Lee felt completely different because Brody Lee felt like a mugging because the Dark Order were there. It was just brutal. It was a lot of outside interference. It was a lot of this, a lot of that. It was Cody being decimated by a person using unfair tactics. Malachi broke Cody. Not the Dark Order broke Malachi by himself.
Yeah. And he broke Cody in a way that made it look effortless. This wasn't Superman going up against Mongol or Lobo. This was Batman going up against Darkseid.
Yeah. This, like... And here's the thing, like, to an extent, now that it feels like now that Cody knows, he can maybe last 5 more minutes. Not necessarily win, he can last 5 more minutes.
Because after the match, Cody is helped to his feet by Tony Schiavone.
Helped to his foot.
Yeah, because he's limping.
Because that's what Malachi did the entire match. Was just, alright, I'm gonna Muay Thai kick your fucking knee over and over and over again. Oh, look, I can get your knee. Bam. I can get your knee here. By the way, bam.
Oh, dude, we completely forgot to talk about it. How'd you feel about the entrance?
Beautiful. It is because, like, it is the right evolution of Malachi's character. Because Aleister Black was boiling right underneath the surface. So his entrance felt like that, like screaming about like the duality of good and evil, the morality, the grayness of it all. But this was like pure simmering. This is embers. This is a man who goes like, no, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just here to kick ass.
And don't forget, this is the same theme he was going to have in WWE before he was fired.
But
this is exactly the same character.
Yeah.
It's just a different name.
Yep.
But
I mean, it's also the same character arc because of the eye and everything. And also, I love his new gear. The shorts look fucking sick.
Oh yeah, he looks like a gladiatorial warrior. Like it reminds me of the Damascus gear Matt Hardy wore when he first debuted.
Yeah, but it's like that. It's a little bit MMA. It's more Muay Thai because that's what Muay Thai practitioners wear when they fight.
And it also allows you to see all of the man's fucking tattoos.
All the tattoos. It's so good, so good.
But Cody is helped to his foot. Dr. Sampson slides a crutch in the ring, and he tries to get on it, and Cody starts choking up, and I start choking up, and he talks about how back when he started, he was just a bright-eyed kid who wanted to get the title back that they took from his daddy in the garden all those years ago. And he says plans change and goals change, and you find yourself in different places than you would. He thanks the fans, and he puts over that Daly's Place is now the AEW amphitheater.
As far as
in his mind,
like they're not renaming the place.
No. But and then he starts taking off one of his boots, and I started. Dude, I was watching this at like 5 minutes past midnight, and I started screaming at my TV, "Don't you fucking dare, I'm not ready." Like, I was legitimately freaking out.
You got worked, bud.
I got worked hard because as soon as he gets the first boot off, Malachi comes from out of nowhere, grabs the crutch, and just whacks him over the backside with it. Like, no, motherfucker, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean you're done. I mean, you need to get good again.
Oh, yeah, because I saw a great interpretation of, like, the reason Malachi attacked Cody was because he thought Cody was done. He over the hill, the horse that needed to be put down. And when Cody came back and that 9 count, that outside count, because Black was like, all right, cool, count him out. Break his spirit, do all that. He saw a spark in Cody. He was like, oh, you're still there. Let me pull that out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. And also, as WrestleTalk was very quick to point out, this is probably them writing Cody off screen so he can go shoot Go Big Show Season 2.
Yep.
This is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But like I've said, Cody is my favorite wrestler, but I don't mind not seeing him for a little while. I don't mind him being a big marquee thing that only shows up like a handful of times a year. Because at this point, that's what he should be. He said it as much in his fucking promo where he's like, I've carried the banner for a really long time. I've set this amazing, plentiful table, and now it's time to let others eat at it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, there's so much metaphor that you can pull out there for Malachi, too, because, like, he's the rot of the food.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, that kind of, like, oh, there's so much, but Malachi. Fucking Malachi. God damn, it's so good to see him.
It was a perfect fucking debut for him.
So here's the question. What's next for Malachi? What should Malachi do next?
I don't want him going on after a title next. That's for sure. No. Did he ever face Ambrose?
No, that could be fun.
I want him to say, like, Mox, you came into AEW with this spirit, with this fighting spirit, and you went after that title like a rabid dog. And now look at you. Now you're just doing goofy matches to pop crowds with your best friend. You're resting on your laurels because you became a dad. You've gotten lazy.
You broke out of prison, and now you've put yourself back into a prison. I broke out too. Let me
Yeah.
remind you.
And here's the thing.
Because remember
Am-
what Ambrose was called? The Asylum. That's a
Mhm.
major part of his character in WWE.
And here's another thing. Mox isn't the first match.
Kingston.
He Eddie says, "Bro, I got this. You don't need to deal with this punk. I'll take him out. I'll get him off our asses." And then Malachi demolishes him to give him monster heat.
Oh, man. And with the way Eddie sells, he will sell the fuck out of those kicks.
Yeah.
God damn. God damn, god damn. So much shit. So much that you can do. Oh man, imagine the promo. Imagine the promos between him and Jake the Snake.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Malachi go after the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship.
Dude. Oh man, and eventually we need to get Miro versus current Miro versus Alice Malachi. God's favorite
Dude.
champion and the devil and the man and the devil's favorite plaything.
But here's the thing, you hold off on that for a good while because Malachi needs to be the one to break out of the game over.
Oh man.
Malachi should be the next TNT champ.
Malachi being the next TNT champion, and he just and he reopens the open challenge. It's confessional. Come confess your sins.
And for his custom belt, almost completely black with like green etchings on it. Like spooky green etchings like his back tattoo.
Oh man. And the side plates are his back tattoo, the demon face.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so much you can do. Darby would be fun. Sting would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know. MJF would also be a fun feud between Malachi.
Oh my God, Mal. I feel like they wouldn't do it because you don't wanna bury the team. But I would love to see him run rough shot for the Pinnacle.
Like, don't like. Here's the thing: you can run it, not necessarily like break them and bury them and like, oh look how weak they are, but you can do it psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
You
And I
know.
feel like you could also do the same thing with the Inner Circle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I
Oh
think
my
you,
God,
I think you should keep
don't
Malachi a
do this.
tweener so you
Go,
can do
go.
all these different things.
Here's the thing. Don't fucking do this, AEW. But I think it would be hilarious if, like, you just interrupt Inner Circle versus Pinnacle to be like, "Oh shit, Spoopy Man, let's fucking beat him together." Oh God.
I just had a realization. Malachi versus Punk.
And we've already said it a half dozen times before he was even released, but Malachi versus Sting wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. But dude, like imagine the promos between Malachi and Punk. Malachi, the man who looks at good and evil and the gray of morality through this esoteric spiritual lens of like good, evil, demons, gods, and all this kind of stuff. And then you have Punk, this very secular man, this very like, no, fuck you, brown, like reality. The world is shit because people are shit.
Yeah.
And like them having basically not arguing that people are assholes, but how are people assholes?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Colt Cabana pointing at CM Punk going like, "You're the asshole, bitch." I only see
Oh
one
my
asshole.
gosh. Malachi and Colt Cabana in a tag team.
Oh man. Oh, I this could only be like a feud for going up to like a Fighter Fest or a Fight for the Fallen kind of thing. Malachi versus Orange Cassidy.
Malachi's just spouting all this spiritual nonsense at him, and Orange is just like, whatever.
Dude, just imagine Malachi does the fucking flip, sit down, like, thing, and the Orange Cassidy just walks up, lays down, and does the whole.
That's that's everybody's wallpaper.
Yeah. Goddamn. Goddamn.
No, that's you're gonna if that happens, you have to post that on Twitter and be like, I have two moves.
Yes. Either Orange Cassidy lays down lazily and does the thumbs up, or he does the super kicks
Mm-hmm.
to Alistair, who's sitting down.
Well, if it's the super kicks, then you have to post it and say my last two brain cells trying to get me to do work.
But goddamn, Malachi was so fucking good. Are we gonna see Malachi next week? Whenever Malachi's not on screen, everybody should be going, "Where's Malachi?"
Yeah.
Come, like, he has been in the company for what, 3-4 weeks at this point, and he is one of the most hotly discussed things.
It's almost like the man had shit tons of potential, and if you just booked him semi-competently, he could have made you a lot of money,
It's
Vince.
almost as if you just listen to him and give his ideas some credence and, like, believe in him. Oh man, it's just good. It's good. Do we have anything else that we need to say? Do you want to talk any more about Cody and how he
Uh,
got his shit kicked in?
I mean, I already went into detail about how emotional it made me.
Yeah.
Like it was a fucking perfect it was a perfect work retirement promo on the level of when Mark Henry made everybody think he was going to retire and then beat the shit out of John Cena.
Mm, mm, mm.
Um, but no, overall though, I did really like this week's Dynamite. There are a couple segments that didn't super hit for me, but oh, for the most part, everything was really good. And like, in my opinion, this is what an average Dynamite should be.
Yeah. I
Last week
also
we've had the last couple weeks we've had slightly below average. This is back up to average. Very, very good. With the occasional speed bump.
also think it's setting up a lot of things for future Rampage stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But in the meantime, why don't you tell the people where they can find your bullshit? You bullshitter?
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make toy reviews on YouTube. Some people like to watch them, a lot of people don't. Then that's fine. You're still subscribed to me for some reason, but whatever. Fucking apparently I review most of AEW on Rival Collection Series 2 and it only gets 6 fucking views in 2 days. That's that's totally fine. I'm not sour over that at all after my fucking last review blew up simply because it had Power Rangers in the title. Fucking goddamn algorithms and established subscriber bases. But anyways, if you want to check out those videos, you can do so at youtube.com/vacuuminator, THEVACUUMINATOR, and follow me on Twitter, I guess, at the Vacuuminator, and Instagram, figure photography, the _ Vacuuminator. Those are all things. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, howdy, howdy, I'm Chris Boingo Writer Gaston. You can find me on the internet, on YouTube, at Boingo Writer. I do video essays and editorial content there. You can also find me on Twitter at Boingo_Writer and Instagram at Boingo_Writer. Something I'm working on some projects you'll find out soon. Yay! Do we have any final things to talk about? Okay, cool. If you like this podcast and you're watching us on YouTube, hey, give us a like, a comment, and a subscribe. If you're listening to this on a podcasting platform of your choice, hey, give us a follow, give us a review. Helps us out. You want to know about any of our other podcasts? Hey, go look on our YouTube channel. They're all there. We have a Twit where Vac and Buster talk about Tokusatsu. We have No Prize where we talk about comics, and we have Components where we talk about bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the meantime, this
Sometimes literally.
no, we talk about Cody shit.
We talk about Cody's shitty customers. That's a thing that happened this week. Tune in tomorrow if you want to hear about that.
I mean, we've also talked about Cody's shit.
And I mean, I'll just drop this as at a hint as to how heated the discussion gets. Everybody, hey Boingo, I didn't end up bleeping it.
I don't remember what you. You gotta remember, I don't remember shit.
I know, but you could at least act like it is. You could sell things for the purpose of getting the massive.
But I'm trying to get my
listener base that we
memory
have
problems
for this
over.
podcast.
I'm getting my memory problems over.
Oh, your memory problems, which aren't even established anywhere except for this podcast, where we're just completely off the rails sometimes.
I mean, do we ever even have rails? Is that a thing? Or do we have rail guns? This has been Modular Media Wrestling Podcast Live. We talk about wrestling. I think we should say goodnight.
You told them that already. Get the fuck out of here.
Say goodnight, Vac!
Good night, Vac.